So, we're gonna be watching this video by this YouTuber named Bisley, and it's about Resident Evil 8. It's called The Weirdest Resident Evil Game, Part 2.
Resident Evil 8 is absolutely ridiculous. With its over-the-top setting, convoluted story, and decision to make werewolves the main enemies, it almost feels like some kind of joke. But I'm okay with the joke as long as it's funny, and this game is hilarious.
You stupid man thing!
It's pretty funny.
Not only that, but when it wants to be, it is absolutely terrifying.
Oh, yeah. I was like, I played this. When was that game ever really that scary? You know what? He's right. That shit was scary. That. But yeah, this is actually the second video he did, so it covers the some more. I actually don't remember what the first part of the video covered. I think it was just the first section. If you want to see the first part, I highly recommend it. His videos are fantastic. You need to go and watch it on your own.
The journey continues with our boy, Ethan Winters, after finding out a mold witch put his baby in a series of jars. If that doesn't make sense, you should go watch part 1 of my Resident Evil 8 video where we go through all of it. Now, this game overall, it doesn't make any goddamn sense and is extremely weird, but there's one mechanic that I find especially strange. Scattered around this cold, desolate village, you can still find some remnants of life. Crows in the field, chickens wandering the streets. And if you're lucky, you'll see this beautiful blue jay perched in the tree above the cemetery. And you can eat 'em all, buddy. That ain't a blue jay, that's juicy game right there. Instead of leveling up through, I don't know, a skill tree, we level up through the food pyramid. But there's only one food group that matters, my friend, and that's protein. You can bring all your
God, it's fucking amazing. I love this guy. But so, yeah, to like level up in the game, like a bunch of skills and stuff, you take it to this big fat man and you give him meat and he cooks meals, and then they increase certain skills. God,
various meats to the Duke, who will use them to cook traditional Romanian dishes that somehow boost your stats, increasing things like your health or your movement speed. Now, in previous Resident Evil games, I've always made sure to blast every living thing I can find. So I guess it's cool that I'm justified in doing it now. It's just, I don't know, it's just weird. I guess the best way I can put it
Bro, I liked it better when it was just mindless violence for the sake of violence.
is campy. It's very campy, which can be said for a lot of this game. Definitely not all of it, though. While, yes, there's plenty of goofy stuff in this game, the tone is consistently changing between sections. In the last video, I talked about how this game is broken up into 4 different sections, one for each of the lords, and how each of the lords are loosely based around monster movies. Now, at this point in the story, we've only killed Lady Dimitrescu, which leaves Angie, Moreau, and finally Heisenberg. Now, each one of them has a baby flask, and we gotta go kill them all and collect their flask so we can put Baby Rose back together like Mega Blocks. I never had Legos as a kid, I had Mega Blocks. It's just Legos, but worse. After leaving Castle Dimitrescu and talking to the
That's why Pokemon isn't working with them anymore.
Duke, we end up in this courtyard. It's got 4 doors, each leading to one of the lords. When I saw this, I thought it looked like a great opportunity to let the player tackle the lords in whatever order they wanted. Similar to games like Far Cry 5, that is also broken down into multiple sections based around the different antagonists. But instead, it remains fully linear, and the only way to progress through the doors is to add stuff onto this winged key until it matches the symbol on the door. I'll give him this. The idea of building out a master key, could be cool hypothetically, but functionally it's no different here than just collecting different keys in the same way that you did in the older games. There's a lot to love about this game, but in some areas it just seems like they were trying.
I feel like putting like a key together out of multiple keys, but the separate pieces as you put them together still open different doors, would be way cooler in real life than in a video game. Like, if there was an escape room where you did that, like you started with like a section of a key and it opened a door, but then in that door, like you could go and find another piece of that key that once you put those 2 pieces together opened a different door, that'd be sick. But like in a video game, it's not that cool.
Way too hard to be different. I can get behind trying new things, but God damn, if it ain't broke, don't make it worse just so you feel special. Anyway, after some unnecessary arts and crafts, we're able to open up the first door.
This is the dolls, I think. Yeah, dolls. Everybody loves dolls.
Eve?
Ethan, come with me.
Also, I love one of the things he does a lot is he'll dress up as like whatever character he like the game is about. That's great. Like he like this is it's not exactly what Ethan Winters wears in the game, but it's pretty damn close. It's great. But it's so cool cuz like he's not like what's he got? He's got 300,000 3,500,000 subscribers. So it's not like this massive channel, but he still puts all this effort into this shit, and it's so cool. And that's part of why I love these videos so much. There's just so much effort and care put into these videos, and it's sick as fuck. Ugh. Woman jump scare.
What's going on?
There's something I have to tell you.
Reality distorts around you, and the path leads us to House Beneviento, the home of Angie. The way inside is blocked by a door that won't open to just any key, but something far more personal.
Wild. Dude, I've already forgotten all the shit that happens in this game.
Now, not only is Resident Evil known for survival horror, but it was actually that first Resident Evil game that coined the term. Survival horror usually creates a sense of tangible danger through an external threat, like, I don't know, a werewolf coming to eat your ass. And that's why
It is so funny because these videos feel like a vlogger walking through these games. Because he just like, he'll walk down this like creepy ass hallway and he's just explaining to you how the game works.
this section of Resident Evil 8 is so interesting to me because it delves more into psychological horror, exploring these deeply personal themes, making you question reality and yourself. What if a werewolf did eat your ass? And what if you liked it a little bit? This is scary stuff. I'm not ready to confront these feelings.
Bruh. What if you liked it a little bit? Oh, man. Bigfoot is real and he ate my ass. God, Jesus.
Yeah, anyway, the path that we're going on right now is it leads to House Benevento. Yeah, it's that one right there.
Yeah, dude, this section of the game is actually scary. Like, most of the game, not that scary. This, scary.
You know, if this place wasn't like mega double spooky haunted, I would live here in a heartbeat. This shit is beautiful.
It's much, much smaller than Castle Dimitrescu, both in physical space and presentation. Rather than walking through the regal halls, hearing your boots click against the marble floor with that eerie score in the background, here, there is no score, just the ticking sound of a grandfather clock and the old wooden boards creaking underneath your feet. And fucking dolls. There's dolls everywhere. I really hate dolls. When I was a little kid, I had this reoccurring nightmare where Chucky would chase me over the lava platforms from Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith, and I would always either fall in or he would catch me and kill me. And so now whenever I see these creepy ass dolls, I do what has to be done. There isn't much to find in this part of the home, but following
pulled
these
out a
walls lined
lightsaber.
with worn wallpaper, we arrive at an elevator. See, it's underneath the home where things truly
Not this
At
section.
first, it seems just an extension of the home above. See, you've got a storage room.
And a projector with some pictures on it from my most recent Christmas. I'm normally a gag gift kind of guy. Like, this is what I did for my most recent Mother's Day gift. To be fair, she liked it. But for Christmas, I wanted to
really
do something
funny.
special, so I got my mom, dad, brother, and sister all these Holzkern watches. Yes, this is a Holzkern sponsor, but I bought these watches long before I ever got sponsored. I got the idea when I
That's
got this
wild.
watch from my girlfriend the year before for Christmas. It's genuinely one of my favorite gifts I've ever gotten, and so I just fully stole the idea. It's not just watches like this one either. Holzkern is
Yeah.
basically a
Typically,
watch and jewelry
VTubers
company for
skip
both
an
men
ad,
and women.
whatever,
All products are made
but
from natural, high quality FSC
I'm not gonna
certified
skip this one
materials
because
produced
I'm
ethically
reacting. I
in
might as
small
well.
batches. Basically just means they didn't gut a forest to make you a watch. Everything you buy on the store has a 2-year guarantee, and they're based in Vienna, but they do express shipping worldwide, so you'll usually get it in like 2 to 5 business days. All the business talk aside, these are cool watches. I mean, I don't know how much
Yeah.
more of a vouch I can give you than the fact that I bought 4 with my own
It's-
money before I even thought about getting sponsored. I sought
Yeah.
them out
Cool.
because I
They're
like their
watches,
stuff.
they're
If you're looking
cool.
for a gift to get pretty much anyone,
But like,
I
it's
vouch
more
highly
out of
for
respect than
Holzkern. If you
anything.
use
I'm not
code
gonna buy a
Bisley at
damn
checkout,
watch,
you can
but
get 15% off. As much as I loved getting this watch, I promise it's worth it. And thank you, Holzkern, for sponsoring this video.
anyway.
Really, there's nothing out of the ordinary down here. That is, until you step into the doll workshop.
Ugh.
For all
God,
that work
it's just
you
because
did
I
to get
know
the
what
first jar
comes.
in Castle Dimitrescu, it's jarring to see Angie holding
Ugh.
out the jar for you on a silver platter.
This is obviously some kind of
There's no
trap.
platter
Who's
there.
stupid enough to go pick that up? Only a dumbass is gonna go pick.
I mean, do you have a choice?
I've been waiting for so long. I'd make a much better daughter than Rose. Please, won't you stay with me forever?
Mmm. Wild.
I really like this section. It's structured almost like
Meow,
an
meow.
escape room where they take all your weapons away and you have to solve a series of puzzles that are actually pretty good. I think the best part about it is how different it is from everything else so far, completely flipping the experience upside down. Where the castle acted as an exploration of Lady Dimitrescu's character, as well as just the general setting, with fast-paced action to carry you through it. House Beneviento acts far more as a dive into the psyche of Ethan Winters, pulling details from his mind and laying them all out in front of you as part of an elaborate puzzle. Like this doll here, laid out before you, that's meant to be a reflection of Ethan's wife Mia. All surrounding doors are locked, and the key is inside Mia. For this, the developers took inspiration from the Chinese puzzle box, but instead of puzzle pieces, they got body parts, which is actually very creative and deeply unsettling. Delving into the character of Ethan Winters was a pretty bold choice for Resident Evil 8, considering that when he first debuted in Resident Evil 7, he really wasn't meant to be much of a character at all. Something they made very clear by the fact that they refused to show his face, even still in this game. There's actually a third-person mode that you can get through the DLC, and even still, you can't turn it around to see his face. That's how committed they are. I don't know why they're
He does have a face. You can find it online. If you look it up, people have like ripped the model and you can see what he looked like. He's got a massive fucking nose if I remember correctly. Like his nose is fucking huge. But like I think I'm pretty sure that he has a face.
that committed. It's kind of stupid, but they're committed. Now, this is because when they made the shift to first person in Resident Evil 7, they wanted the character to be a blank slate so that the player could project themselves on
They
that
immediately
player,
switched it in the
step
next
into
game.
shoes. And it's funny, in trying to make Ethan Winters a boring character that you don't care about, it actually kind of made me like him more because the game wasn't so focused on making you like him. Through it all, he's just been some normal ass guy in Resident Evil ass situations, and that's funny. But also interesting. Way more
He's very
interesting than
funny.
Military Man number 5 that Capcom wants you to love, even though he's just a terrible person. I'm never gonna like Wesker's son. Don't bring him back. If I see Wesker's son again, I'm releasing a bioweapon of my own. Comes in a can. It's called Whoop Ass. At some point between Resident Evil 7 and 8, they decided not only did they want to give Ethan a character now, but they wanted to make the next game all about his character. And look, I've heard a lot of people claim this was a bad call. He had no character in the past. Why all of a sudden are we pretending like he has one now? And I actually have some thoughts on this, as YouTubers often do. The good Lord gave me a camera and some opinions. I'm making do. Ethan Winters, through both 7 and 8, isn't necessarily a character as much as he just represents an idea. One that I think all of us understand. It's the idea of going to the ends of the earth through hell and back for the people that you love. In 7, he was just a man going to save his wife no matter the cost. And in 8, it's the same thing, but for his child. Every single point, every driving force for this character stems from this idea. And I don't think this game manifests a character for Ethan Winters out of nowhere. It just explores those ideas in more depth. I won't spoil the entire story, but in one way or another,
Yet, this is a series of videos about like the game, so I feel like he's gonna delve into it a little bit more.
every single character in this game is doing what they're doing for someone they love, except the Duke. I don't really know what his deal is. Also, maybe not Heisenberg, but like most of them. Though, for sure. It's enough to make it whatever. I think the execution of his personality could have been a little better, but overall, playing as the everyman who loves his wife and daughter so much that he will kill vampires and creepy dolls just to save them is exactly what I want from a video game. As we explore the
I don't
basement
remember
further, it becomes clear that all of these puzzles are extremely personal to Ethan. Once we find the key hidden away within Doll Mia, we begin hearing the sounds of a recorded conversation between Mia and Ethan.
Whoa! That's a kid! Can you believe it? She's so energetic, it's crazy.
The next piece of the puzzle is their wedding ring, now engraved with the code to the door. We align home movies in the right order based on a list of details from Ethan's life, and then retune a music box that came from Ethan and Mia's wedding that can actually be found in the Winters home right in the beginning of the game. Throughout the rest of the game, the
I didn't
puzzles
know
are a
that.
little lackluster. There's not much to them, but specifically in this section, I don't know who was designing them, but they made some really cool shit. It took me about an hour to get through all the puzzles,
It does
and that
take
was
a
with my
while.
girlfriend standing over my shoulder helping. Normally, I'd be tempted to look up the answers online, but these were ones that I actually wanted to figure out on my own, and I felt really good about it when we finished. In the end, you'll find the pieces that open up this door leading into a dark corridor.
Have you ever played this game? Because if this is the section I'm thinking it is, which I'm pretty sure it is, this is like... This might be the most fucked up section in a Resident Evil game. This might be the scariest thing Resident Evil has done. I haven't played a ton of the games, I haven't watched a ton of the games, but this shit is fucking scary. Yep. The crib broke.
And now, this simple escape room evolves into the most terrifying moment in the entire game.
Ew.
The lights have all gone out, and this terrifying, grotesque baby creature hunts you down
That
while you
shit's
try to repair the
nasty.
breaker box. Since all of our weapons were taken away in the beginning, there's really
Watching a video will never do it justice. This shit's fucking awful if you actually play through it. It's terrible.
nothing you can do here except hide and sneak your way through. Like any good horror monster, you can't usually see the baby, but you can hear the sounds that it makes as it babbles and drags its way towards you. It leaves behind a trail of blood that you can follow back to the breaker box. But
I didn't even know that.
once you activate it, this is the kind of horror that Resident Evil doesn't really go for, and
for their first time, I think it came out really good. It's not
Yeah.
perfect, though, for sure. I think for me, it was a little too scripted and easily manipulated. I mean,
That's very
when
true.
the monster is that goddamn slow, you can kind of just run around in a circle and play, oh, which way are you gonna go? And then run away. It's not very difficult. I think if the baby was able to like lunge at you or was shooting stuff at you or something, it might have been a little more scary because the danger would have been more real. But for what it was, I liked it. The rest of House Beneviento is pretty underwhelming, but we do get to meet Donna Beneviento, the human being behind Angie.
Don't leave. I can't let you.
You're still alive, huh? You better find me cool before my friends murder you. TikTok, your life's on the line.
Wait! Nah, she ain't just a doll, just like a person controlling a doll. That's the whole thing. What I found weird was the boss fight for this
Wild.
section, which is essentially just you play hide and seek with Angie and stab her with scissors whenever you find her. And it's real creepy because she's a doll, but she still bleeds.
Everything would be better if Rose wasn't born.
Fucking monster. The story at this point is so focused on Ethan Winters that it doesn't actually explore much of Donna Beneviento, but she's actually a really interesting character. Donna's parents both died when she was very young, leading to some mental disorders that manifested in her preferring to communicate through the doll Angie that her dad gave her. And as an adult, in the same way that Mother Miranda performed experiments on Lady Dimitrescu, she did the same thing with Donna Beneviento, implanting her with the parasitic Cadeau. Everyone who was experimented on got different abilities, and Donna's abilities were to secrete a psychoactive chemical that could produce a hallucinogenic response. This explains why she was able to inflict such personal terror upon.
It's interesting because he highlighted a section about the Megamycete or whatever the hell it's called, which is a little interesting if you know about the game.
On Ethan, because it was literally all coming from his mom. It does make me wonder how much of what we actually experienced was real and how much was hallucination. Baby was real. Baby had to be real. No way fake baby. Real baby. Once we find Angie
Real
for the final
baby.
time and brutally stab her with
Not the
scissors,
NFL
we get to see
sound.
Donna Beneviento's face for the first time, laid out lifelessly next to Angie.
It's over.
Rip Bozo.
Mia. I'll make things right.
The two were purposefully designed to visually represent life and death. Angie wearing the all-white wedding dress and Donna with the all-black mourning clothes. Where Lady Dimitrescu was clearly inspired by the stories of Dracula, I think Donna Beneviento was more inspired by the idea of a ghost possessing things around her like a creepy doll, never facing you directly but almost hiding in the
That makes
shadows
sense.
around you, haunting you. It should be pretty clear now what I meant by how different each of the sections are and why I love
Very
it so
true.
much. And that's not an easy thing to pull off either. I mean, look at a game like Resident Evil 6. That game has what, like 4 separate full campaigns? That sounds great and all until you realize that all 4 of them play exactly the same. It took me like 26 hours
Yeah.
to beat all of them, and that's 26 hours of doing the same shit over and over again. Compare that to Resident Evil 8, where it's one campaign, but it feels like 4 different game styles all mashed into the 8 to 9 hour playtime. So few games are able
God.
to keep things fresh.
I always forget about the section at the very end where you get to play as Chris, and you're just completely fucking kitted out. You have these like full-on, actual militaristic weapons, and you can call in like an airstrike and shit. It's absolutely fucking bat crazy. It's great. Because you go through all this shit for the whole game, dealing with all these fucking monsters, and you're like barely surviving. You have to keep track of all your ammo, and at the end you just fucking mow them down.
And interesting until the very end, but Resident Evil 8 pulls it off. At least so far, we ain't at the end yet. With the second baby jar in hand and the next piece of our 4th grade art project put together, we can finally move on to the next lore. Moreau is located somewhere around the windmills, and to get there, we actually have to go back through the first part of the village that we explored in the beginning of the game. Only it looks a little different now. This green goo has been
Hold
beginning
on,
to
what
hit.
the hell was
It
that?
looks a little different now.
Stupid idiots look down and read this. God.
This green goo has built up all around this place, forming into little squelchy orbs. They don't pose as much of a barrier. You can actually just kind of cut through them with your knife, but I think more than anything, they're just meant to get you mentally prepared for the nasty son of a bitch we are about to meet. See, Moreau isn't like the other lords. While yes, they were all experimented on using the Cadeau and given some form of mutation, Moreau got the absolute worst of it. A fact that was obvious the moment we first saw him. And also unlike
Rose
he doesn't get a huge castle or a house to himself. Instead, he gets this small, sad room in the mines. He doesn't seem all there in the head, and all he wants is for Mother Miranda to love him. And she clearly does not. I don't know why he's just standing there staring at a blank TV, but he's not looking at the jar, so might as well just... I just came for the jar, really, so I'm a...
What are you doing with Mother's special child?
Yeah, no, I'm a definitely take this, but you... I mean, good luck. Good luck, bro.
Wait, please. If you take it, then the others laugh at me.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't even worry about it, man. Most of them are dead, so...
That's literally what I was about to say. I was like, 2 out of 4 of them are dead. So, like, well, 3, technically, because not including him. Literally, it's just him and Heisenberg. And Mother Miranda, I guess.
It's really not even a problem. I wouldn't even stress it. So, no, definitely still taking this. But, yeah. You'll be good. Take it easy, for sure. Just, no, do your thing. All right.
Yeah, he's nasty, but you almost kind of feel bad for him. I mean, we grab the jar and leave, and you think he would do something about it, but he just cries. There's this part of me that, while yes, I really like this game, just keeps coming up with ideas in my head that would have made it cooler. Like, for example, what if there was an alternate way to handle this situation with Moreau, or all the lords? Couldn't it have been cool to spare Lady Dimitrescu and ride her into the final battle? Hang on.
Oh? I'd totally be down to ride. God.
Moreau into work.
Hold on. Oh, that's funny. I love that.
What if I could have talked Moreau into working together with me, or tricked him? I don't think it would have been that hard. And goddamn, there's a moment later on in the game, I'm not gonna spoil it right now, but it makes the best case for choice-based gameplay. As a matter of fact, I'm kind of pissed that there wasn't a choice, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. No, right now it seems we've got some more pressing issues. Stepping off the boat, it seems like some kind of research outpost was set up here, just like the one back in the village that I totally forgot to mention, but it definitely does exist. That's my fault. But who would set this up, and what could they have been doing here?
I knew it. That was good timing. Anyway. I didn't even know this was a thing. Or that was a thing in the village. I never saw that when I played. Or I don't remember it.
Get off of me! Stay the fuck down!
Ethan. I gotta say, I'm surprised you made it this far.
Chris Redfield, I'm going to grind you into a goddamn paste. Stop being so fucking coy about everything before I come and smack the taste out of your mouth. You think you're so cool?
Can we talk about the fact that bro just like threw his soldier over his arm? Like, or over his shoulder like it was literally nothing? That's crazy. Even if he got thrown back, like, that's still nuts. You'd think a soldier would be better for that. Bro, he's built different. I suppose that he did fight a dragon, so like...
Cool and mysterious in your little coat. I really, really hope that a giant fish monster just shows up and eats you. Oh shit. I also hope I get $1 million right now. God damn, I wasted it. How was I supposed to know? You get one, I guess. Moreau transforms into this massive fish creature, inspired by the Japanese river yokai Kappa. I think I said that right. And I'm sure they also took some inspiration from the creature from the Black Lagoon or the Call of Cthulhu fish guys. This section with Moreau just does not include nearly as much as the others do, and it goes so fast because it's fully action oriented. Exploration goes fully out the window in favor of some light platforming that's kind of half baked, but the overall set piece is still pretty good. It all leads to a boss arena where it's just you and the mutated
He's real
Moreau
gross.
slobbering all over the place. Not only is he the nastiest thing in this entire game, but while you're shooting him, he just keeps shouting stuff out, and everything he says is so goddamn sad. There's some concept art of Moreau where he's shown watching old romance movies and, quote, falling into melancholy, and it also says he likes cheese. That's what you do, buddy.
Say, bro, he's just like me for real.
I'm gonna blow you up, but I bet you. What was the slime's favorite cheese? Gouda. All right.
All right, I forgot he explodes.
In death as he was.
Not the fart reverb.
Disgusting.
I haven't shown this yet, but after a boss fight, Ethan, every single time without fail, has the worst, just unfathomably bad quip it throws out there, and I love it so much.
Curse you. You're the one who's cursed.
Other people do not love this. In fact, there's an entire Screen Rant article just about how bad these one-liners are. They seem to really hate it, which makes it even funnier to me.
That is really funny.
Sad, dingy home, we get a better idea of how he was living. Though his background remains shrouded in mystery, we can still discern a few things from the environment here. We know that he was the most mutated by the Cadeau experiments, and based on what everybody was saying, he was the lowest regarded of the lords, likely because of that extreme mutation. On the ground, we can find a note that he wrote before we blew him up, but I'm not going to read the whole thing, but there is a little segment in there that gives us an idea as to what's really going on here. Mother Miranda said Rose is a vessel. With a vessel, Mother can get her real child back, even though she's been dead for a very long time. Okay, seems like this is where the story starts really coming together. So Mother Miranda only stole Rose to be a vessel for her child that died a long time ago. Probably gonna resurrect the old baby in the new baby. I don't know exactly how that works, but if she can make vampires and werewolves, she could probably make a body-snatching baby.
That's true.
You're better off than I thought.
Like a whatever
Oh, come on. We just met a while back, not that it really matters.
You're the last asshole in my way, aren't you?
You've got fight. I'll give you that, Ethan. But what's the plan when you have all 4 flasks?
What are you trying to get at?
I could lend you a hand.
Trying to get on my good side?
Now don't get cocky. I'd kill you if you weren't worth the trouble. There's a stronghold not too far outside the village. Go there and get my flask. Do that, and you pass. First, head back to the graveyard.
Self-centered prick.
Heisenberg is my favorite of the lords character-wise, because it's very...
All I ever think about now, whenever I hear his voice, is I didn't think anyone was left. Not after D's, that is. God, it's such a fucking great clip.
Very clear that every time we meet him, he's not just some big meathead following Mother Miranda's orders, and there's clearly so much more to him than meets the eye. At every opportunity, he's toyed with us, turning our encounter into some kind of game. First before the council when he allowed us to run away through a series of traps, and now challenging us to get the final flask. He's not killed Ethan yet, so clearly he still wants us alive. Just not clear why. This challenge, though, is definitely a big one, as the path we're meant to follow to find the flask leads straight through the den of the werewolves.
Right.
I've talked a lot about the action set pieces being pretty good in this game, but I think it's really at this point where they start to become great. You've had the chance to level up, get new guns, and now the game fully stops holding back. And the action here is only good because the level design is goddamn great. An open chasm with ascending platforms that keeps just the sheer number of werewolves visible at all times, while also opening up another point of tension with the danger of falling. I love verticality in combat when it's done right, and this feels really good. Keeping the hordes visible but spread out at different heights makes it feel like you're...
I'm gonna be 100% with you, Chief. I do not remember this. I just remember like a big boss fight with like a big guy with a hammer. That's it. I don't remember this.
Fighting an army without you having to literally face them all at once. This all comes to a head when we're faced with Urius,
this
the
guy.
werewolf boss from the beginning of the game. This boss fight hits hard in the action department, but I just can't help but feel that there's still some missed opportunity here. If I had actually cared about any of the villagers and then they appeared back here as Lycans, imagine how much harder that would have hit. Considering how they boast about the increased design variety of the Lycans, imagine if each of them was recognizable as somebody from the village, or better yet, if there was a mechanic early on in the game to protect the villagers, and the less you protected, the more you lost, the more showed up here. I suppose it's not fair to look at a game.
That's like... There are games that do that. I'm pretty sure there are actual games where like you can have something like that happen. But yeah, that would be cool, but also like...
for what you want it to be rather than what it is, but that's really just my way of saying that narratively this does not hit for me at all, and it easily could have with some changes. This trek,
yeah, nothing will ever make it not funny that to heal, bro just pours a bunch of gunk on his wounded hand.
Through the den seemed to be that challenge Heisenberg was talking about, and at the end of this path we find the final jar. With all four flasks in hand, we can place them down each into their slot in this altar, raising the bridge to Heisenberg's factory. Why are we putting the baby jars in the altar instead of just taking her and putting her back together ourselves? I'm really not sure what's going on here, but there's a jar-sized hole. I mean, when you see a hole like that, you gotta put the jar in it. It's one of those things that's just better not to question, but this next section here, they have truly done the impossible. Across many Resident Evil games, one problem has always persisted. The ending location is always kind of ass. But today, here and now, that changes.
It is pretty cool.
Kinda. It's like not amazing, but it's pretty good. It's like a lot better when you compare it to the boat from Resident Evil 7. I actually skipped most of the boat section in my Resident Evil 7 video because I just hated it so much.
That's
the grungy,
hilarious.
industrial vibe is a far departure from the castle and cliff.
See, this is... I've never played Resident Evil 7. I have played Resident Evil 8. So I didn't know he skipped anything in that video. But I do know about this video. This stuff, this game.
Side homes we've explored so far, and Heisenberg is a far departure from those other lords.
I love the gun just appearing.
So you might have been misled by the fact that Heisenberg can Magneto and thought he was based on Magneto, but Heisenberg is still based on a monster, or should I say, the monster's creator.
I mean, oh. Well, I mean, technically you could think of Magneto as a monster. He's a pretty bad person. Except when certain writers are
Dr. Frankenstein.
Truth hurts, don't it? Let me guess. You're thinking, take me out like the others, and then he gets to go and save Rose, right?
I'm healing my daughter.
Listen, Ethan, you're being played.
What are you talking about? You think this is a game?
I said sit! Lady, supersized bitch. Ugly ass psycho doll. An embryonic freak. Don't you get it? It's a test. To see if you're strong enough to be a part of Miranda's family.
I don't want to be a part of Miranda's family.
Neither did I, but here we are. You and me, Ethan. Together, we can go save Rose, and we can use her to grind Miranda into paste.
My daughter is not a weapon. Fuck you!
Last chance. You don't have to find out what's in that hole.
I'll take my chances.
that is legitimately like one of the most memorable scenes in this movie. Or this game. It's pretty cool.
Your funeral.
When I talked earlier about wishing this game had some choice-based gameplay, this was the moment I was talking about. I really wish we could have chosen to work with Heisenberg and take down Mother Miranda together. Sure, I get Ethan would not have used his baby as a weapon, but imagine, you know, maybe we could have talked him out of it, been like, yeah, we can do this another way. And at this point, they have a common enemy. They don't really have any direct problems with each other, so why kill each other? What's the point? I suppose we're not running from him, though, just his biggest fan. This factory serves as more of a return to form than anything. If you prefer the games like Resident Evil 2, then this one was fully made for you. Rather than continuing the long hallway slash theme park style the game has had so far, the factory opens up and prioritizes puzzle solving, backtracking, clever enemy design, and environmental storytelling. All the keywords you like. The factory itself feels like a labyrinth, and the monsters you face throughout it are these twisted cyborg zombies that Heisenberg has created an army of to lead a revolution against Mother Miranda. Again, I kind of wish we could side with the cyborg zombies. That's kind of cool. I've read a lot of opinions while researching for this video, and one that really stuck out to me was a pretty shared sentiment that Heisenberg was just far too over the top, what with the cyborg zombie army and being able to Magneto. Personally, I love it.
It is pretty sick.
I don't know how anything could be considered too over the top, considering we've been searching for the missing body parts of a magic baby. And I think for me, it comes down to execution. Sure, there's a lot of crazy shit going on, but it doesn't get all thrown at you at once. It's not some big evil narration from the villain. I don't even think they outright tell you that Heisenberg made this cyborg army of zombies to take down Mother Miranda. I think they kind of just show you straight up, and you're able to discern that for yourself, or just not pay too much attention and keep kicking ass. When I think of over the top, I think of Resident Evil 6 and how that game is constantly throwing things at you, and it never makes sense. Check me out. Here's a fun drinking game for Resident Evil 6. Drink every time there is an explosion. I promise you will die of alcohol poisoning in the first 45 minutes.
I was about to say, anytime someone says some shit like that, it's always like, this will kill you.
It gives everything room to breathe, and more importantly, room to be silly. Heisenberg's not bad, he's just silly. I do go back and forth on the voice acting. I mean, I like how distinct he sounds, but also it just doesn't match his face. Once you find your way through the maze that is this factory, you finally meet face to face with Heisenberg again. And everything I just said about it not being too over the top becomes completely wrong as he turns into a big metal monster.
Yeah.
Don't come. I still don't care. I love it, but I get why people thought this was stupid. I mean, what the fuck?
I told you to leave it alone, Ethan. You are in the way.
What do you care, Chris? You killed my wife, you son of a bitch!
You think I killed Mia? That wasn't her. It was Miranda.
Oh yes, Chris Red-pilled finally come to.
That was such a wild thing. It's like, oh yeah, your wife from the beginning of the game. Nope, not your wife, actually.
To explain the plot to me. It's only been 7 hours, but you could have said that at any point.
That's
will
very
never
true.
understand the decisions made for Chris Redfield, one of the oldest characters in the goddamn series. He showed up and shot his wife, stole his baby, and then goes, "You're out of your depth." Are you stupid? The only way he could make up for this is by giving me a big battle tank with a machine gun and a chainsaw duct taped to it to let me go fight the metal guy. I know what you might be thinking. Bisley, Zachary, you did just get done saying this game is not too over the top in its execution. I lied. I don't even know why I wrote that in my script. I didn't feel that way in the factory.
It is so funny. You just straight up get a tank.
And still do think that section deserves some love, but yeah, I can't defend this. It is awesome though. It's a certified hell yeah moment. It's fun, you know, and I think that's what matters the most here. I don't know where the idea of a twisted metal ass tank versus metal kaiju fight came from. It makes no sense, but I mean, is it not fucking cool though? Come on, do we hate fun?
Yeah, bro.
You really should have taken my deal. You'll be frozen in the afterlife. Rose's power is one. Right after I murdered Miranda.
And he pulls the lever in. Bro, the real question about this game is how the f he be surviving these falls? He should not be doing that.
This can't be the end for me. I must kill her.
Once Heisenberg goes down, we finally defeated all of the lords, and Mother Miranda steps out to confront us for the first time. Mother Miranda first presents herself to Ethan in the form of Mia, but that won't be enough to trick him this time.
Calm yourself. Rose will be saved. The Megamycete catalogs all of us. However, she will be reborn as my daughter.
She's my child, not yours. Where are you? Show yourself.
Why did Rose come to be?
Holy shit, she was the
it because
hag
of
too? No.
Hag.
And you are
sorry,
true.
I'll let you keep watching.
But I've learned all I can from you. Your worth as a lab rat has run out.
Miranda, you coward. Come out and face me.
Don't worry. Your death will come quick. You will join the Megamycete's records. I will make sure to sample your blood for later. Once dawn breaks, the ceremony will be complete, and I will become her true mother, bound for eternity in blood.
Ethan falls lifelessly to the ground, his heart ripped out of his chest.
There really
He's
was
left
some
there
Mortal
to-
Kombat shit.
Captain, I've confirmed the death of Ethan Winters.
Mission adjustment? No, doesn't change anything. Terminate Miranda and rescue Rose. That's the mission. K9, I want to know what the hell BSAA is doing here. Find out what you can.
Roger that. I'm on it.
I don't know what that means.
Yep, he's really dead, and now instead of Ethan Winters, we get to play as Chris Redfield. Moving into
I love that he changed outfits because he's playing as Chris now.
the village, you and your soldiers basically have infinite ammo glitch and just start melting werewolves. They
It's
didn't already
great.
do enough to establish Ethan Winters as the everyman. This moment where Chris Redfield just tears through werewolves, where Ethan was fighting for his life, makes it very clear how far off Ethan is from a trained soldier. Although it does help that Chris has 100 bullets for every one werewolf, and also a laser pointer that makes things explode.
Yeah,
They've definitely
airstrike.
gone full action
Just
movie
straight
at this
up.
point, and I'm all for it. I love
It's
it. I wouldn't
great.
say it's the best Resident Evil game by any means, but it is definitely one of the most fun.
It is the perfect example of you struggled through this whole thing up until this point. Here is your reward. It's amazing.
In the story of every lord, there was always one constant. Mother Miranda, the cult leader, luring them to a place underneath the cemetery to perform experiments on them with the Cadeau. And here, underground beneath the cemetery, is a red, fleshy mass suspended in the air
Oh, it's
called
a baby.
the Megamycete. If you remember in Resident Evil 7, the story fully surrounded the Baker family being infected with the mold, a bioweapon that slowly drove them mad, made them inhumanly strong, and eventually absorbed their entire body. This is the heart of that mold, and Chris has placed enough explosives on it to blow up the entire village. But he already allowed Mother Miranda to live accidentally.
I love that he taped the bomb to a knife and just threw it into the thing. It's so funny.
Once, and he won't take a chance on doing that again.
I know it's too late now, but We really should have told Ethan the plan.
There wasn't time.
That's not even true.
So soon.
Even so, you should have told him.
Yeah.
As much as I don't care for Chris
You know what would have been a great time to do that? Then, when they took his baby, they could have just brought him with them, so he knew what was going on.
Redfield in this game, I am glad they at least acknowledged the fact that he should have told them earlier. I know they didn't do it for plot reasons. It's just really flimsy. Self-awareness isn't exactly an excuse, but it helps. In an offshoot cave from Megamycete, we find Mother Miranda's lab. It's here where they do all this plot rushing, just like they did in Resident Evil 7, where they try to immediately lore dump on you everything about how Mother Miranda was an influence on the creation of Umbrella, and also knew the Spencer guy who founded Umbrella. If you noticed all the Umbrella symbols just thrown around the village randomly, it's because they decided that the founder of Umbrella would have learned about this symbol here and used it as the logo for his company. And if you don't know what Umbrella is, kind of neither do I. I mean, I know what it is, right? It's like the evil shadow organization that makes all the bioweapons, but it just got so convoluted so quickly that I stopped paying attention. I think I'm more in this for the protagonists and the more immediate story at this point. The lab also shows us the Cadeau we've been hearing all about and explains why Mother Miranda did all this in the first place. See, Mother Miranda lived in this village in the early 1900s when the Spanish flu came and wiped out a majority of their population, including her young daughter. Miranda grew depressed after losing her only daughter and wandered into a nearby cave to take her own life. But that's when she found the Megamycete. When she put her hand on it, she witnessed the memories of thousands who had been consumed by the Megamycete in the past. Like Mother Miranda said before, the mold catalogs every person that it consumes. And it's not exactly the same person. It's kind of like if you have two hard drives and you move the files from one to the other, kind of a gray area. But this big meaty hard drive held thousands of people, including her young daughter who had passed. Now, Mother Miranda figured since the mold had cataloged her daughter, all she needed was a body, a vessel, and her daughter could be reborn. She began using the Cadeau, doing experiments on all the villagers, searching for the perfect vessel. And so everyone we've faced up to this point, the lords, the werewolves, everybody, was just a failed experiment. With all of them being failures, Mother Miranda settled on another vessel outside of the village, Rosemary Winters. And apparently the way to get Rosemary, she thought, was to pose as Mia and live in the house for multiple weeks while keeping Mia locked up here. Why not just kill her? I don't know.
Come on.
That's a great fucking
It's not safe
question.
here after all.
What do you mean he's gone?
He's dead. I'm sorry, Mia, but we have to leave. We have to destroy this village.
No! You're wrong. I tried to keep this a secret, but... you don't understand how special he is.
Right.
Did you ever question why Ethan could just put his hand back on when it got cut off? Or kept surviving things that just very clearly should have killed him?
You're dead.
Yeah. Like, it's literally like, I remember people talking about that when they first saw the scene of him literally getting his hand chopped off. They're like, how did he just like goop that back together? And then they explain it. They actually do.
Dead? I mean, Miranda. She...
Wrong. It wasn't Miranda. You were always dead. 3 years ago.
I want to talk about, I'm pretty sure that is like this is, I guess, canonically when he dies. This is within like the first like 10 minutes of Resident Evil 7. Like, he died immediately.
The Baker house. You were murdered by Jack. You died there 3 years ago. Now do you get it? Your whole body is nothing but mold.
This is a cool ass reveal, and I'm happy with how they did it. It came out really cool, but it's also not much of a surprise, or I feel like it shouldn't be. I think this was an assumption that I just automatically made in Resident Evil 7 when he stapled his hand back on, and also they were constantly throwing notes at you about how the mold gives you regeneration powers. Even still, it's a cool plot point, and it makes more sense why Baby Rose has superpowers. It's because her dad is famed superhero Mold Man, and Mold Man is far from done.
Bro said, I ain't hear no bell.
Real quick before we wrap this up, thank you for all the support recently. You know, liking, subscribing, all the bullshit. Yeah, that's what allows.
You go do. Hold on. Go do those things. This guy's sick. Love this guy.
Allows me to continue doing all this stuff. So I really appreciate it. On the last Resident Evil video, I said I'd make another one if it got 40,000 likes, and y'all smashed that in like a week. So here we are. My next project is gonna be this huge video on The Last of Us, and I really wanted to step it up for this one. So I've got our editor Geek coming out to film everything. I've got my friend Milo coming out to play Ellie. I want to experiment with that kind of thing. I found this amazing prop maker named Lynn who built all of these cool props for the video. I'm really excited for it. So if you're excited for that too, you want to see that, subscribe so you don't miss it.
Definitely gotta react to that.
Homepage, subscribing just make sure that keeps happening. It also just helps push these videos. I mean, please share these around, like, subscribe. It helps me get views, and views equal money to pay for all this bullshit. I really appreciate everybody who's been supporting these videos. Seriously, I mean, I know I'm just some guy on the internet, you don't know me, but this has been my dream for as long as I can remember. So to see it really happening is kind of fucking crazy. And I owe that to y'all, so thank you. I appreciate it.
Miranda!
Interesting. Your body certainly isn't normal.
She's like Scottish. It's weird.
No!
You will see. Once I kill you properly, everything.
Get her now!
Holy shit! Oh my! Holy! Oh, hold on. Oh no! I thought like a whole chunk of her head was missing, JFK style.
Let go!
I've spent a lifetime creating this moment, and you try to take it away from me. I will take what is due.
God.
My desires will be fulfilled. Rose is mine!
What the fuck?
Miranda transforms not once, not twice, but 3 times, all into different forms meant to get your ass. Luckily, my ass is full of 15 pipe bombs, 5 landmines, and 3 explosive rounds. I had to put them somewhere. A little context, when I was playing, I had concocted this plan about halfway through to collect as many explosives as possible to use against the final boss. What I did not realize is that the boss arena would be so close quarters and I would blow myself up again and again and again and again. At a certain point, I realized the explosives were just not gonna do it. And I mean, I threw 23 explosives at her and she just kept going spider mode and pretending nothing happened. It took a lot of trial and error, just going back and forth from the Duke, getting different gear, trying different things just to go in and get clobbered again.
I wonder what
I found some.
I wonder what difficulty he played it on, because I didn't have that much trouble. I think I had a little bit of trouble. I don't know if I died to this fight, but then again, I played it on like normal mode. So, I don't know.
Something that actually worked. To be fair, it's a really well-crafted boss fight. I mean, the attack patterns are consistent and learnable, but they're so varied that it's very easy to forget what she's gonna do next. And just when I felt I was defeated, I saw something in the Duke's shop. An auto shotgun. I got as much shotgun ammo as I physically could craft. I spent all my money on shotgun ammo, and I marched in there for one final round.
What the hell did I use?
I did it.
Shh. Shh. It's all right, Rose. It's all right.
Baby.
Ethan is clearly on his last leg. Even with the mold, it seems he likely won't walk away from this one.
Ethan! Come on, Ethan. Come on, Ethan, wake up. Oh no. We gotta move. Keep moving, Ethan. There's a bomb in that thing that'll blow this whole village sky high. Hey, look at me. When I hit this trigger, we can't be anywhere near it. Ah, damn it. Mia's waiting for you. She's alive, you hear me? Alive.
Mia, I'm so sorry. I love you. Keep Rose safe.
Hey, hey. Hey. And you tell yourself. Now come on, it's not that much further.
Watch over her. Teach her to be strong.
Damn. Yeah, I mean... He took the trigger. Rose literally got goop hand.
Rosemary.
Ethan.
That must be like a miniature nuke if that thing is gonna blow the whole village up. Thing's nasty.
Until the very end, Ethan embodied the idea of going through hell and back for the people that you love. You can say all you want that Ethan shouldn't have been the protagonist. We should have followed a more familiar character like Leon again. But I think this everyman, this ground level guy with a simple goal is exactly what the series needed. And Ethan Winters is a goddamn great protagonist. One who represents something we all understand. Loving someone so hard that you would spit in the face of death just to save them. And even though his story is done as confirmed by the game, I hope that the ideas that he stood for persist throughout the series and that they don't choose to forget him. In a little post-credit scene, we get to see a grown-up Rose visiting the grave of Ethan Winters. There's also a DLC connected to this that I haven't played yet, but I've heard is pretty good. I do hope we get to see her again in 9 though, even if she's not playable. I think more than anything, this game showed me that the Winters family deserves their place as Resident Evil protagonists. Anyway, that's all I got for this video. Resident Evil good. I liked it. Click the card right here to go watch another
This video
one of my
good.
videos. Thank you so much for 324,000 subscribers.
It's 50 now.
Like really fast after that first Resident Evil 8 video. So thank you so much for that. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Sorry it took a little longer. I just moved. I'm in Colorado now. I'm in a weird studio space, but I love it. I'm excited for what I'm going to be able to make here, and I really appreciate you guys. Love doing this. Got another thing right here. You can watch it. Okay. Thank you. Goodbye.
So, that's the end of that video. It's great. I love this guy. But yeah, his content's great. Yeah, because he puts so much effort and like just. So that's it. That video is so good, bro. I love that guy's videos. Bisley is such a good YouTuber. I'm definitely gonna try to react to all of his videos whenever they come out. So I'm gonna end it there for today. I will see you all tomorrow. And remember, always make reasonable life choices.